Can't get enough of Infendo Radio? Head to Infendo.com and see everything else we're up to.
Creating overwhelming urges to buy Nintendo crap since 2005. Infendo Radio is on now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Infendo Radio, episode, I don't know.
This is so weird.
Yeah, I know, it's weird, right? If you're watching this on YouTube, right this second, I'm a cat. And in like 20 seconds, oh no, immediately, I'm a me again. And then I can be like, Discord has avatars now, so this is my life. But welcome to the show. We've been gone for a long time because we've been playing with avatars, and we definitely wanted to do the show. No, we've been gone for a long time.
I didn't know this was a thing. I'm going to have to go check on Discord because we're going to have to take another 4-month break because this looks really cool.
Cool. This is our new thing. This is our new hobby now. This is what the podcast is going to be about. So if you have noticed that we haven't done a show since what, like Christmas? Was it Christmas that was our last show?
It was, but actually I haven't posted that one yet because the website was down.
Oh,
so there's
that's the thing. The website's been down, and it took a long time to get it fixed. And Eugene is the only one who worked on it at all. So you're welcome. Thank you.
Because we're a bunch of slack asses
for getting the site back up. The site's up now, so now we have a place to host our podcasts again, so we can do podcasts again. And we thought rather than recording 8 of these and uploading them to Twitch and YouTube, where we get 5 hits or whatever, or just having a library of content we'd have to catch up on, we just take an extended break. So Justin and Steve and I, we played some Mario Party. That was fun. Eugene and I and Justin were gonna play. Justin's dead. We were gonna play Rocket League, and then I played
got shot.
I didn't do that. Just a whole bunch of stuff.
There we go.
But you can tell we're really refreshed. It's been a while, so we are back. I'm joined by the ever affable, ever lovable Eugene and Justin. Justin, how you doing when you're not in the scope of the gun, and where can the people find you when you're not on your next mission?
I'm getting some feedback on my end. Hang on a second. Okay, so I am doing well. I'm trying to figure out some new recording equipment. Ask my co-host here. It is not going well. But yeah, happy to be back. Definitely enjoyed our gaming nights in the absence of the show, but I'm happy to be recording again. I would plug the DisneyParkBench.com, but honestly, I have not done anything on that site in longer than we've done on Infendo. So check it out, and I will get
All right. Well, so Eugene, owner of Infendo.com, fixer of the bugs, master of the universe. How you doing tonight?
I don't know, man. What version PHP are you running these days?
I'm still on freaking Java, man. It's an old school software.
No, I'm doing good. Honestly, sorry guys. I probably could have gotten it fixed a lot faster, but life and stuff. I actually had to hire somebody to look at it. Because I'm not smart enough at, but we got it back up. We're back up and running. Life's been good since then. Been trying to live the dream, just trying to live the dream. Been playing a lot of video games though, and I cannot wait to tell y'all about it.
Honestly,
Lucas, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, honestly, it's kind of a nice break. We got some time to chill and relax and everything. And there hasn't been a lot in the news, so it kind of makes sense. If you're gonna ask me where the people can find me and what I've been doing, I would like to plug myself because I haven't posted anything to my YouTube channel in a long time. But that's gonna change next week because Steve and I have a pre-scheduled Pokemon battle in the works. It's going to be our first ever battle in Scarlet and Violet. Yes, I know we're very slow. And we're going to use our best Pokemon.
Wait, you haven't battled yet?
We haven't battled yet. We've been waiting to do it on video. So we're going to do it. I'm going to record it. I'm going to upload it to my channel, and you can go check that out at Lucas Peace on YouTube. So go watch that because it's going to be really cool. And we're working on teams for another battle. Steve has been working on a project. He's been getting shiny Eevees, and each one's in a special ball. So that's a whole thing. But I'll talk about a bit of that and change the system. So
I know all about those special balls.
I know you do.
That's just sorry, Justin. I don't know what to tell you. This is what the show is.
It's good to be back.
All right. Well, Eugene, you've got a news story for us, so I think we'll start with
Yes, I do.
yours because it's a little bit more interesting. If you're watching this on YouTube, enjoy watching Justin futz with his video and audio controls for the entirety of the show. Meanwhile, Eugene, what's been
I
going on?
was just trying to make myself brighter, and I disappeared.
Well, you're bright enough.
So, okay, so this is a very, very nerdy story, but this is exactly the kind of story that I just absolutely love. So, obviously, you can play Super Nintendo games on your computer right now with an emulator. That's not a thing. Like that, everybody can do that kind of thing. But what's cool about this news article is that the Link to the Past was reverse engineered, and it has been rebuilt from the ground up to work on Windows. I think also on Mac. There's a Mac version as well, if I remember correctly. But in any case, you can just like play the game like with an exe file basically, and it's been enhanced by this team called Team Extension, I believe. The GitHub user that uploaded it is Xander Haj. But yeah, there's just like, since he uploaded it, there's been so many forks on the GitHub that it's just like ridiculous. People are doing some crazy stuff with it. So like I saw somebody just posted recently, like a Link to the Past randomizer, like that's already been a thing. But like, now you can play that natively on your computer. I just think that's really cool.
You should PSA, you should probably nab this quickly if you want to play around with this kind of stuff, because Nintendo is going to be all over this. And
Good call.
No, it's cool though. I think they did this with Ocarina of Time in the past, if I remember right, because I think I was reading some article about that.
Yeah, like a year or so ago, I think.
Yeah. I generally I think it's a really cool thing. I get a little I get weird with parts. Like I get aggravated when people talk about like updates and it's like, oh, we made the game faster, we made it fit widescreen and stuff, and I'm like, it was perfect the way it was. I have a little bit of like an artist like preservation thing with video games where like I hate any kind of updates and stuff, but I know that's a me thing more than like an everyone thing kind of thing. But no, it's cool to see. It's cool to see people taking such an interest in freaking rebuilding.
I think the coolest thing about this is gonna come from the mods that come out of it. Again, as long as Nintendo doesn't like completely shut it down.
Usually what
online multiplayer and there'll always be like underground places to do this kind of stuff. So I'm sure
that's what I'm thinking, right? Like some kind of like MMO mod, I saw some people like who cares, right? But like they're adding ray tracing to this game for some reason. Like it's just crazy. Yeah, because why not? Right, exactly. So
you could do a lot. You could do a lot of editing. But see, then there's people in the comments like already that like frustrate me on the other end of this thing, who are like, finally they can get rid of that stupid pink hair from the limited.
Oh my God.
The limited. It's like, that's iconic. You're ruining it.
Right. Yeah, like didn't they fix that in the GBA port? I think, and I was actually kind of mad. I didn't like it.
No, if I remember right, he had blonde hair.
Still had the same sprite.
I thought he had blonde hair on that one. I know in one of them he had blonde hair.
Maybe it was the Virtual Console.
I was thinking it was like the Japanese add-on super like telephone version or whatever. Remember how they had like a telephone app that connected to it?
Satellaview, I think.
Yeah, I think it might be that version that had the blonde hair. But anyway, no, for me, like the pink hair is part of that Link. Like that Link from those games, he got pink hair. I'm sorry. Like that's who he is. That's what he's all about. He went brown, then he went pink, then he stayed a blonde for the rest of his days.
He had his wild days.
Except Twilight Princess. Yeah, except Twilight Princess. And kind of Skyward, or not Skyward Sword.
That was his goth phase.
Breath of the Wild. I feel like Breath of the Wild, he got a little dirty blonde again. But what you gonna do? He also stopped wearing green like a monster. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the thing that's really cool about this is that I don't know if it's cool to you guys, but like some people are saying that, okay, cool. Now that we've reverse engineered this code, now why can't we port this game to like the Sega
Xbox.
32X and like the Sony PlayStation? I heard somebody saying like there's like talks of trying to port it to like the Genesis even, like stuff like that. So it's like this is really cool for a certain community. You know, like
Yeah,
most people are going to care about this.
a certain community that deals in less than legitimate business practices with their emulation.
Exactly. Thank
Yeah.
you, Lucas, for saying the unsaid. But I don't know, man. I'm cool. I think this is awesome. I'm following this.
It's pretty cool. It's kind of exciting, and who knows? Maybe we'll get something really cool out of it in like a couple of years down the road, kind of thing.
Well, and I mean, after they were able to decompile Ocarina of Time, we got the Ocarina of Time beta, like the Zelda
Right.
64 E3 version or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, maybe we can get something really neat out of this.
I'll be honest, I think we've talked about this before. Link to the Past is a good game. It's definitely one of my favorite 2D Zelda games, but it's still in that I think this is partially a product of growing up in like the 2000s and everything, but like 3D has always been my preferred medium. I like my Sonic in 3D, I like my Mario in 3D, I like my Zelda in 3D, and like I'd be more excited for like a Wind Waker got reverse engineered than I am for this one, just because it's not one of the games that I like really latch onto and stuff. But that being said, it's still a phenomenal game. It's still exciting to see what they're going to do with it. So
Now you're just making me want them to build Link to the Past 3D, even though that's kind of Ocarina of Time. But
you know what?
Anyways,
You know what I want? I want a Four Swords
Or,
game built in the Wind Waker engine. That would be nice.
okay,
Give me
okay, yeah.
that. Give me that.
I just want to see them use the Link Between Worlds engine again.
Ever again? Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
nice.
cool.
Like
right.
give me a good 3D top down, like perfect marriage.
Well, speaking of perfect marriages and imperfect marriages, I'm going to pivot right along to our other news story because we got to get to change the system because it's been a while. Yeah. So I came across an article the other day.
Lucas and I have stories.
Yes, obviously. I have a news post here though from I think just a couple days ago. Most of you probably already have heard about this if you haven't. But E3 this year, it's been announced that Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo are all going to not be there for E3 this year.
Now, has this been officially announced? Because the last I heard, it was speculated, but
I'm pretty sure this was published by E3, like by the E3 Council of Elders or whatever to their Twitter. Yeah, that's what I saw. So fun fact tonight, if you search Nintendo on Google in like the news, all you'll get is E3 information. Like it's the only story that's going around right now. They showed off a list of like who's going to be there, and it's everybody that you'd expect. Capcom's going to be there. I think Bethesda's going to have a showing. All the usual folks. I can't even think of another game company off the top of my head right now. But yeah, I kind of think that maybe we're getting to a point where like COVID made everybody realize that they don't have to go to these things to still sell stuff, and that we're just kind of done with expos, which is kind of a bummer because I don't know about you guys. I had a lot of fun memories like watching E3 all day long when Nintendo had their showcase. It was like a highlight for me, and it's not that like we're not getting the content, but it's just kind of feels like it's gone now, know.
And the thing that kind of bothers me about it is like last year, we all kind of knew that there wasn't going to be
nobody has anything to show,
but,
so yeah.
Right. But like it was still nice to have all of the companies coordinate together. Like even like when Nintendo wasn't at E3, they still did their presentation at that time. And I'm kind of hoping that just because they're not there, it doesn't mean that there's going to be nothing. I want Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft and everybody else to do some sort of presentation during that period.
If I'm remembering 2022 right, and I might not be because that whole year is just a crazy blur. I don't remember E3 like there being an E3 centric presentation. I remember thinking there was going to be a direct, and then there not being a direct, and being really disappointed that there wasn't a direct.
Months. Yeah,
if I remember correctly, E3 2020 was like all virtual somehow.
and Nintendo did like a
Right.
direct like the week before E3 or something like
something
And
that.
I was
like
fine
Yeah,
with that since most
but
of us can't go to
last-
the place anyway.
Right.
But last year, I don't think there even was a direct like in the summer. Like I think we had a direct in like May, then we had a
That's
direct in
right.
like September or something
Because
like
we were
that,
kind
you
of
know?
like waiting on it. Yeah, because
Where's
everybody
all the
else.
games?
Mhm,
Yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, like again, I don't think it really says anything about like, oh no, our favorite companies are shutting down or anything like that. But it's more just kind of like E3 is dead, you know? Like I think
Yeah,
kind
I
of a
think.
dying thing at this point.
Isn't it funny too that Nintendo kind of in my eyes, they kind of set the precedent for that with their Nintendo Direct for that
Well,
one
yeah.
year. I can't remember what year that was, but then when they did that, like everybody else kind of almost followed suit, like I remember
Yeah.
pretty soon after that, I think it was EA that dropped out of it, and then
Mm-hmm.
Activision, I'm pretty sure, dropped out, and then soon there was just like
Yeah.
nobody.
Well, it's like all of a sudden everybody just realized, hey, we can do a video, like a pre-recorded video message, half the
Right.
length. We don't have to fly out to a foreign country. We don't
Mm-hmm.
have to hire a translator for Miyamoto. It's like it's just,
Don't have to build a vertical slice demo for people to
yeah.
play,
Don't have to show off a game and have it not work properly and embarrass us, like when they're waggling the Wii remotes and nothing's
Right.
like yeah, like they have all the control now to present the games the way they want, and that's obviously good for them from a business standpoint. I'm gonna miss E3. I'm gonna miss watching a full day's worth of TV just to see what like 5 games get announced that I want to know about.
So when I saw this article pop up, honestly, you know what I was thinking? I was like, I thought E3 was already dead, honestly. Like
Yeah.
I just thought that it just was dead already. But then I thought I had to go look back. I was like, oh yeah, no, there was an E3 last year. Yeah, that's right. But like, yeah, it felt dead already, It felt like it was dying.
Yeah, this is just kind of like the stake in the vampire that's kind of ending it all. So
I have mixed feelings for it because like you guys are E3 is very nostalgic. Like that was just like I remember back in the day, in high school, you would go to the library or whatever
yeah,
at lunch
sneak
and
onto
just
the
like see.
sneak onto the
Yeah.
Wi-Fi and watch everything, and it's fun. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's definitely kind of it feels like the end of an era, and maybe we're over dramatizing it. Maybe it'll still be a lot of fun this year, but I don't know. I just kind of think that for someone like me who's really like a Nintendo fanboy, and like Nintendo is like what I play and stuff. Like Nintendo is the announcements I care about. I don't care that Bethesda is going to be showing off 5 more seconds of Elder Scrolls 6. That game's like 20 years from coming out anyway. Like I want to see what Pikmin 4 looks like. I want to see what Metroid Prime 4 looks like. That kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, which is why I'm hoping there's still something. Like,
Well,
it doesn't
there'll
have to
be announcements. It just might not be during like July, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it
I
is
don't know.
sad.
Rest
I
in
do
peace.
remember, back in the magazine days, always, trying to find every article I can about all the new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's how it goes, right? I guess speaking of how it goes, we should pivot into change the system because, like we said, I have a feeling this is going to be a big one. So why don't we do that? And we're going to try to keep it relatively short because we've all been playing a lot of games over the extended vacation period. And then if we have to come back to some of our stuff and go into more depth, we'll do that. Next week or the
Certainly.
week after, or for the rest of the year if we got to. But for now, let's just get into it. So, I don't know, anybody really craving that first conversation piece who wants to start this thing off?
Nobody
I'll
wants to
go,
take
I
it.
guess.
Yeah. Go ahead. Get it.
All right.
Get it.
Especially since actually, just like before our unintentional hiatus, I wasn't playing a whole lot of games, but I did. So I'll get to GoldenEye in a minute because obviously that's one of the things I really want to talk about. But I was inspired recently to pull out my Rock Band stuff and play that again.
Wow.
Interesting.
Rock Band.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
have
choice.
Rock Band 4 on my Xbox One, so I pulled out my old wireless bass guitar and started playing. And what I discovered was calibrating my new TV is a pain in the ass. In fact, I've spent hours trying to get the calibration just right, and I
I
still haven't. But I've
totally
got close
forgot
enough that I
about
can
that
play.
aspect. Oh my god, yeah. When I got
Well, it's
my
only going to get
So
worse the better the TVs get,
TVs,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
exactly.
So the weird thing is, so I have the guitar that has the microphone and light sensor on it, so you can, automatically calibrate it. So I would
Hmm.
calibrate it, and it would say, like, I don't know, the video was 390 some odd milliseconds off. I'm like, okay, perfect. When I hit the button, apparently you can't adjust it beyond 300 milliseconds. So that 94 milliseconds would disappear, and I'd spend the next hour trying to compensate
Mm,
for it. So,
that
but I
sounds
think I finally
terrible.
got it to a point. Yeah, so I think
Is
I
there
finally got
like
to a
a
point where
game
it's
mode that you
playable.
can turn on your TV or something like that where it's like not using the
I did finally get my TV set up so that it wasn't quite so terrible, but yeah, it took a long time. But once I got it, it was fun getting back into Rock Band. And what's nice about Rock Band is it's a game you can turn on, play for a while, turn it off, and not feel like you wasted any time. Because, I
sure.
mean, as long as you can play it.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
it's
really
not
been
really a
most of
game,
my
but yeah.
Yeah, that's really been most of my gaming lately is just turn it on, play it for a while, not accomplish anything, but still have fun sort of gameplay
Hmm.
style lately. I
Mm.
have not been, I haven't had the urge to like really dive into any deep games. Um, but I did, we'll talk about Mario Party when we get to Lucas because, he and I were playing that together.
Yeah.
But I did want to talk about GoldenEye because this is probably one of the most exciting games uh, for for me anyway. Because I've been waiting for this for years. I've mostly been playing it on the Switch, even though I have it on both the Switch and Xbox. Um, and what's nice is all of the button cheats still work. So what I've been doing is I've never been good at playing in Double O Agent. I beat the game in Agent. I can do most or maybe half of the levels in Secret Agent, but once I get to Double O Agent, I don't know if there's a single level I've ever beaten on Double O Agent. But I want to unlock everything.
Sure.
So what I've been doing is I discovered that if you enter the button codes, so if you play the game, if you activate a cheat and play a level, you don't get counted for beating the level because you cheated and it says,
Right.
dishonored. Um, but if you activate the button cheats in game, you can still get credit for beating the game. So I've been going through and activating, like invincibility
Hmm.
and maximum ammo, and just kind of blowing through Double O Agent mode. Except now I'm at the point where I'm in the escort missions where you have to keep Natalia alive. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
you cannot apply
Uh-uh.
invincibility to Natalia. So the train level, I think I did about 10 times because I
That
would get
level
to the point
sucks.
where,
I hate that level. That's
yeah,
so hard
I
on
would.
Double O.
I would get to the point where we got off of the train, but there's a whole bunch of bad guys off in the distance who are shooting at me. So
Oh yeah, and then they
I
get
would
you when
try
you go
to
out through the hole. Oh my god,
exact
it makes you
See,
yeah,
this
so
means
mad.
this
or
means nothing to
I'd be
me.
running or I'd be running away and Natalia would get blowed up or something like that. So
Oh man, you're
finally I
bringing back these
activated the
PTSD memories, man.
so finally I activated invisibility in addition to invincibility so that nobody shoots at me, and I finally got through that. Now I'm trying to do the one where she's
Jeez.
hacking the computer in the control room
Right.
and all the guards are coming at and
That's a hard
actually
one too.
aiming at her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a hard one too.
So,
Yeah.
but
Proximity
like
mines. That's your friend.
that's what I'm planning on trying tonight. The game plays as well as it ever did, for better or for worse. Like it's still, a little bit janky, but if you have the muscle memory for it, like you slide right into it, especially if you have the N64 controller, like it's
Yeah.
absolutely perfect. So, I did buy a controller by Retrobit called the Brawler 64, and I actually have
I've
the
seen
same
that one.
controller for my N64. Yeah, I have the same controller for my N64, and I was playing GoldenEye X with it, and it's perfect. Because the Z buttons are on the triggers. The problem is with the Brawler 64 for the Switch, when you activate it in N64 mode, the right Z button is LZ, and the left Z button is LZ, and the right Z button is RZ. So you're pulling the trigger with the wrong hand if you're used to modern FPS controls. And I tweeted at them, I'm like,
you
hey,
can't remap it or anything.
nope, because you can't remap the buttons on an N64 controller, even the official one.
You can remap the controller in, I think,
A Pro
in the
controller.
Nintendo 6. Oh, is that the thing?
You can remap a Pro controller, but the problem is the Pro controller does not have anything for the C up and C right buttons except for the joystick. And the Brawler 64 doesn't have a second joystick, so it's
What
a
does
whole
the
big
Brawler
mess.
64 read as when you sync it to the Switch? Just like a generic, it doesn't read as a Pro controller?
So the new version of it has a button.
Oh,
that
we're
will
going down
switch
a rabbit
between two
hole.
of them. Yeah. So the newest version of the I'll wrap this up and move on. The newest version of the Brawler 64 that is Switch compatible will sync to it as either an N64 controller or a Switch Pro controller, and there's a button on the top that you can press to switch between the two. So
Sure.
I can be playing it in N64 mode, press the button, and then I'm playing it in Switch mode. Problem is, when I'm playing in Switch mode, I'm missing two of the buttons, and when I'm playing in N64 mode, the wrong trigger is shooting, so I haven't been able to use that much. But the classic N64 controller.
I was going to say, so in the meantime, it's classic controller time, because that's the way to go.
But I played it mostly on the Switch. I did play one level on the Xbox, and it plays well. Oddly enough, it's not the remastered version that they made like 10 or so years ago and never released.
It's just a straight port, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's weird to me. There must have been some sort of legal reason they couldn't release the remaster. But
I think the reason it's the original is just because that's like Nintendo's whole shtick right now, right? I mean, if it was the remastered version, it would have to be its own separate game in the eShop.
I thought
this
I
is
thought
just
part of it
I'm
too...
talking on the Xbox.
Oh,
the Xbox
okay.
version is the N64 version, rather than being the Xbox Live Arcade version that they made and never released. So
I thought it was an
high
up-res
definition
version.
graphics.
I haven't played it yet.
Up-res, but if you look at the footage of the version that they made way back before the Perfect Dark re-release came out, it had that same Perfect Dark quality graphics, and this does not have that. It just looks like the N64 game, but better.
If they never released it, it must just be in some kind of weird like legal hell at this point, right? Like, I mean,
that's my
guess.
But...
Yeah, that'd be like finding out there was like a console remaster of Ocarina of Time and we never got it or something, because I got to assume that it's just never going to exist, kind of thing, unless somebody finds a way to hack the source code.
Yeah, it's kind of like if Nintendo released Ocarina of Time as a standalone game on the Switch, but used the N64 graphics instead of the enhanced 3DS graphics.
Yeah,
even though there's no reason they couldn't.
Well, I feel like they probably would actually for that. But anyway, now we're getting down several rabbit holes at this point. So,
right. So that's been my gaming for the past few weeks. Aside from a few really fun evenings of Mario Party.
Take it away, Lucas.
Sounds like a segue.
Sounds like a segue, and I'll ride that segue all night long. So we played a bunch of games. Well, not we, but I've played a bunch of games. One of those games I played was Mario Party with Justin and Steve. So by like week 4 of not having a show, Justin was pitching that we get together and play online. Actually, I think Steve was the original one who said,
he was the
Mario Party gentleman. And of course, he hates Mario Party, so that was perfect. But
and then I hate Mario Kart, so that was the week afterwards. So it didn't work out for me that time. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, Mario Party. So we played Mario Party 2, and then we played Mario Party 1, and they were both a lot of fun. I think we played 2 with Schnazzy One, who's your friend Justin, from eons ago, and I think we played 1 with just the 3 of us because we couldn't get a 4th. Eugene, right? Was that? Yeah. Okay. So
sounds about right.
It was fun. I will say right now, I didn't win either game. Like, I was pitiful in Mario Party. Mario Party 2, if I remember right, we played the Wario level of Mario Party 2. Is there a Wario?
The one with
that was
the
That was-
cannons, wasn't that?
Yeah, that was Mario Party 1 that we did that. What level did we play in Mario Party 2? Horrorland. I think it was Horrorland.
It was the haunted.
Because I kept getting screwed over with the thwomps. Basically, what I'm trying to say is it's rigged, and I got screwed over a bunch. Because like every time every time we would go for a star, it was just like pandemonium and chaos. But it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. It was one of those times. I've told Steve, like, as much as he gets annoyed playing Mario Party, I want to play it again with you guys because I want to have one of those on recording because it was so much fun. And I have my capture card software now. Unfortunately, now we have the stupid show to do instead. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. Mario Party 1, by the way, a chaotic mess of a game. Like, I never owned Mario Party 1. I only played it like twice when I rented it. You lose
they
mini
definitely
games.
Improved the game.
Yeah, like you lose
with,
mini games
with
in Mario
future
Party
entries.
1. You lose coins. Like it's that cruel, that unforgiving. So it was a fun time though. I don't really know if there's anything specific you wanted to mention about it, Justin, other than just how good of a time it was. But it was fun.
It was definitely a good time, and I would do it again. Like
we will.
I bought Super Mario Party when it came out on Switch, thinking that, I'd play it with my kids, I'd play it with my friends.
Yeah.
And none of that ever happened. So to be able to actually play Mario Party with people was great.
Yeah.
And with the game vouchers back on the eShop, I think I'm going to finally break down and get Mario Party Superstars so we can all play that one of these nights.
That'd be fun. Superstars, I said this before, Superstars is a good game that when Steve and I have tried to play it is marred by connectivity issues. When we tried to get on, it's very rough. Yes.
I think I tried to play that one time with everybody, and I think I remember that experience being like so just like terribly bad.
I have a video.
Didn't we play the mini game mode or something like? Or
I think so, and it was still choppy. Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
I have a video that Steve and I were going to make into a Mario Party play session, and I had to make it into a Tetris Effect connected play session instead because Mario Party was so freaking choppy that not just laggy, because like even the N64 console is a little laggy. Impossible to play, and that's really frustrating for a first party Nintendo game. Like the internet should work, that should be like the one thing that is going to work is you're going to be able to actually play the game. So,
I don't know, when it comes to a Nintendo game, that's the one thing I like cross my fingers actually does work is the internet connectivity. But
I'm hopeful that they've since fixed it because it is a phenomenal like upscaling of Mario Party 1, 2, and 3. Like it does a lot right. I just
the N64 emulator when it works is beautiful because it upscales everything just pixel perfectly.
Well, I'll tell you too, I had no qualms about playing the N64 versions. Like as nice as the Wii or the Switch port is, like it's not really a port, it's more of a collection
or whatever.
Yeah, kind of a weird in between area. But as nice as it is, the N64 games to me, they hold up just fine. They are fantastic games. They play really well. They're a lot of fun.
I've had good experiences playing the online version of the, whatever games on the eShop type of thing that it's called now. Yeah. I hate that it's not called the eShop. I hate that it's not called the Virtual Console. I just don't know what to don't know what to call it. I just don't know what to call it. What do you call those things?
Nintendo Switch
I've come to start
Online.
calling it just NSO. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
NSO.
Oh gosh.
Is what it is. Well, anyway, that's one game. I've got a couple more to talk about. Now, I'm running out of time, so let me jet through these. The game that I've been playing a lot of, way too much of lately is RuneScape. Old school RuneScape, for those of you out there who actually know what I'm talking about. And I don't really have anything that interesting to say about it because, like, it's just RuneScape. It's existed since 2001.
But say something about it.
That doesn't mean it's not fun. I have been doing a couple of different things. So my dad actually plays, and he was the one that got me back into it. Because we used to both play back in the day, and I had my group of school friends and stuff. And he's going for like mastery of this game because he sunk a lot of time into these skills and stuff. But he's got all these level 99s and stuff. I'm not quite up there myself, but one of the skills that he needed to get up before we could do this one quest that we're going to try to hit up together is farming, which is a skill that I know very well that he does not enjoy, where you have to, most skills in RuneScape are like click an object, click an object, click an object, click an object, or click an object, watch 30 seconds of Netflix, check if your character killed the object, click another object, like those kind of things. So it's a very AFK-able kind of game. Farming is like plant a tree, water the tree, put compost on the tree, leave the game for 4 hours, and when you come back, the tree will be fully grown, like that kind of thing. So
Right.
I enjoy it. I find it very relaxing. He was not into it, so I did his farming for him and leveled him up. And in the process, I realized I really enjoy this skill. I'm going to make this the first skill I hit 99 on. I'm currently 95 farming. I'm probably about like a week and a half out from hitting 99 for the first time since I started this game in like 2002 or whenever I first picked it up. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to finally crossing a threshold I've never crossed before.
Sure.
I've also been doing a skill called Slayer. People say it's a good skill. It's not. It's a garbage skill, and you're a garbage person if you think differently. Than
Wow.
me. My opinion is the only one that matters on this show. Nah, I'm just kidding. You're fine. If you like Slayer, good for you. Man, I'm having a hard time because I want it. You know, it's one of those things where if I was doing it just to grind it out and like have some fun,
What is it?
I'd be fine. But I want it. It's basically just like a bunch of mini quests that are put into a skill like category where you go up to some guy and he says, I need you to kill 180 groundhogs. That's not an enemy
Slayer,
in the game,
got
but let's say groundhogs. So then you go out and you kill 180 groundhogs. Then you go back and he's like, good work. Here's some experience points. Now I need you to kill 120 dragons. And then you're doing that. And people like it because they say it's varied and there's good drops and stuff, which there are. It's a good money-making skill, I guess. And the thing I'm doing it for is you unlock these really good bosses toward like the end of the, like level 85, 93 kind of stuff.
RuneScape has bosses?
Oh, brother, yes, RuneScape has bosses. There's a whole community dedicated to just bossing. Like that's a whole category of people who play. And I think it's like the most popular one because they just did this big poll about like, how do you play the game? And like 45% of the group said like, oh, I like to kill bosses kind of stuff. So, but yeah, no, it's a whole freaking thing. But I'm getting through it. I'm doing the grind, putting in my dailies and stuff. And I know, I like this game. It's very grindy. It's very, very much like, God, this is a grind, but when I get to the end of it, it's gonna feel good, kind of thing.
Sure.
So, I wouldn't play it if I didn't enjoy it. So I'm having fun. And then the last one I want to touch on is Pokemon because I have been playing Pokemon. Steve has been playing a lot of Pokemon. Eugene knows that Steve has been playing a lot of Pokemon.
I do
because
know.
Steve's been messaging us both about it. So he set out, I'll tell you this since he's not here. This will be Steve's change the system. He set out to build an Eevee team, but being Steve Peacock, not just any Eevee team. No, Steve wanted a team of all of the Eevee forms, including Eevee. So we're talking Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon, Espeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, Glaceon, and Sylveon. Almost didn't get through that. He wanted each one as a shiny Pokemon, which, as you know, if you do as well as possible, those odds are 1 in 512. Originally, he wanted some of them as females, which is a 11% chance when they hatch. And he wanted each one in a unique Pokeball that represented the Pokemon in some way, be it color or element or something else.
Justin, this is where I dropped off too. Yeah. Trust me.
I'm kind of to blame for that because a few years back, I told him that I catch my Pokemon in Pokeballs based on like the color and stuff because it's kind of fun. And he took that to its logical extreme and now has to catch every Pokemon in the right Pokeball. So he has been on this kick for like 3.5 weeks where he got an auto controller that like auto hits buttons and stuff to like farm for money. So then in his off time, he can be like collecting eggs, and then during his downtime at night, he hatches the eggs and stuff. And I don't know what happened, but in like 3 days, a couple of days ago, he just started popping out shinies left and right. The 2 that he wanted as females, somehow he got his female, even though each one has to be in its own unique ball, so he couldn't have like traded them out if he got the wrong female. He got incredibly lucky, but he's built this Eevee team now that he's going to be working on. Yeah. So I was telling Eugene, I wasn't into Pokemon. I was done with Pokemon for a while. And then the more I heard about it, the more I wanted to play Pokemon again. So now I am building a team, not nearly as complex as Steve's requirements, but I've decided to build a team centered around cooking and food and edible Pokemon and whatnot. So I've got the little bread dog that came out in this generation. I've got the guy that's just a pillar of salt. I've got the olive plant as one of my things. I've got the teacup. I've got the pepper dragon monster, and I got one other one that I can't even remember right now, but he's cool too. And yeah, I'm building me a food team, which is one that I've always kind of wanted to do, and it's been kind of fun. I enjoy building teams, so that's been how I've been spending my nights.
That's a I like that kind of team, you know, because
I want to bring it online and make people laugh when they see that, like, every member of my team. And so I got really lucky because I wasn't trying to do this, but I caught my dog and I wanted to catch one of the, Fido, and he evolves into, forget the name of the evolution, but he goes from like a doughy dog to like a dog made out of like bread rolls or whatever. And that's like one of the new fairy types in this game. Doxbun, that's his name. Thank you. And so I caught him, and sometimes they can have like little nicknames next to their name if you catch them in a certain like condition. And I guess I caught him early in the morning, so I got the early riser, and I really like that because he's made out of bread and he rises. So
that's too good.
That was a happy little cheesy coincidence. So I just want to bring them online, and even if like the team sucks, I just want to make people like laugh when I send out a team of all like food items kind of thing. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna have like a serious battle with all our serious Pokemon this weekend. Looking forward to it. Should be a good time. Hope I kick his butt, but we'll see. So I'll let you guys know the results of that if and when it happens. But I've gone on way long enough. We're already running long. So Eugene, why don't you give us your recap and then we will call it a day.
Yeah, sure. I won't spend I won't spend a whole lot of time on stuff that I always talk about, like Overwatch, because I'm still into that, or PUBG, which I've recently come back into.
Still have not played that since that one night I played it with you like 3 years ago.
Oh God, that's right. We did play it together.
I think I played it with you once too, actually, if I remember. Right.
Xbox,
like 360 or something.
Yeah, on the one actually.
But, was it the one?
Anyways, damn, what was I gonna say? Oh, okay, let's talk about the two games that I have been playing that are kind of newish that I haven't talked about, I don't think. Starting with Vampire Survivors. Does that sound familiar? No? Cool, I probably haven't talked about it yet then. I was playing the hell out of this game over the extended unintentional holiday for us. It is the way I've heard it described is it is a bullet hell game, but you are the bullets. So it's like a reverse bullet hell game almost. So how it works is like there's different stages.
Yeah, you're gonna have to describe this to me.
There's different stages. The beginning stage there is just like a bunch of it's a forest, so there's a bunch of like bats and like forest creatures and like weird things coming at you. But like they're coming at you, and your character is just constantly firing like bullets or whatever your character does. So like there's a bunch of different weapons that you can attain. I think there's 6 weapon slots that you can have in a run. And it's kind of like random how you can attain new weapons. So like there's an axe that you can get that like just like shoots this big huge axe across the screen and it kills things. And
this almost kind of sounds like a Gradius or a Zaxxon, those kind of like the sideways ones though, not the up and down ones where you like be in a ship and you'd get like all the power-ups and stuff and have different kind of like bullets and stuff. Is it like that?
So sort of, but it's like that plus a tower defense game, plus a casino. Because
so it's just everything. It waters your lawn, it walks your dog.
I still don't know what this game is, and you just described it.
So let me see if it really is hard to describe. You have to either watch a video or play it. It's on everything except for Switch, unfortunately, but it's like on Android, it's on iOS, it's on Xbox Game Pass actually, so you can get it for free if you have Game Pass. It's like $5 too, so like kind of download it. But anyways, it's like it's got this charm to it because it's like these sprites for that are on the screen, and they're just like ridiculous. So there's like these praying mantises that are coming at you in this forest stage, and like, you're trying not to die basically. If they're coming at, it's almost like your character has a magnet on it, and all of the characters are trying to come towards your character, and if they touch your character, then you take damage, type of thing. But in the meantime, your character is just always firing off these crazy spells or bullets, or like there's this one weapon that can stop time, so like it'll, if the enemy gets caught in the thing, they'll just stop for an extended period of time, and you can like walk through them. It's a crazy, ridiculous
So
game, and I love it.
So does
And
it
I
have the
love it.
franticness? Does it have the franticness of like a bullet hell kind of game?
Yes.
Like where you're okay, so it's that very much like, okay, move, 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 no time to rest kind of thing. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
so there is a clock that's always running. Depending on the level that you're in, most of the levels will run 30 minutes. By the time 30, if you can last for 30 minutes, then you win.
Wow.
I'm not gonna
That's
tell
almost
you.
Monster Hunter-ish. Like, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, and I'm not gonna tell you what happens after the 30 minutes, because that's all the fun. This is the whole thing. You can
I
actually
feel
get
like I
past.
can
Go ahead.
guess, actually, based on the theme. I feel like it involves a time of day and something happening in the sky that makes the vampires stop coming at you. Is that not right?
No,
Okay, so
no.
it's not just like the sun rises kind of thing.
No, in this game called Vampire Survivors, there's not a single vampire in it except for on the
Are there
cover,
survivors?
surprisingly.
Interesting.
You're trying to survive, I guess. But no, I guess cover your ears, spoilers, if you don't want to hear what happens. But like death literally comes and kills you. So after 30 minutes, death comes and you die, and then restart over. You can start a new stage or start a different stage.
Interesting. Huh.
But
Weird
yeah,
game
it's a
you
really fun
found.
game.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's so super fun. If you have Xbox Game Pass, it is a no-brainer. Download it. If you
What is
don't
it
have
called?
Vampire Survivors, if you
Vampire
don't have Game
Survivors.
Pass, it's on everything. It's on Steam. It's on Android. It's on iOS. It's on
Yeah,
pretty much everything but Switch,
I see
unfortunately.
it. I see it on Steam. I'm gonna wish list this one. This might be a fun one to play someday. So
But yeah, it's crazy. By the end of your run, there's just like enemies everywhere. But like the cool thing is, like if you've gotten the right items, um, so part of this game is, like I said, that it's part casino. So part of it is like at certain increments, there's like little boss characters that come and they drop these treasure chests. And in
yeah.
these treasure chests, you have the chance to get these crazy powers and all these different items. And it's like flashy lights and all this stuff, and it's so intense. And yeah, if you can get the right items, if you can upgrade the right weapons, then you can actually you might be able to beat death. I don't know, maybe. And try it sometime.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, but oh man, this is a fun game. I'm gonna stop talking about it because I have one other game I want to talk about, and I'm probably gonna talk about more about Vampire Survivors later. I have also been playing a game on Game Pass called Pentiment. This game is a just if you first off, if you don't like reading, this ain't the game for you because you're just gonna be reading the whole game. It's just like an RPG, like it's almost like a
Visual novel kind of
yeah,
thing.
visual novel, like point and click adventure, like think of your Phoenix Wrights, things like that.
Yeah.
So, but with that in mind, it's got a the I guess the shtick here in this game, as the name might imply, Pentiment. The when characters are talking, it's like actual like penned ink as if they were
Oh, I was thinking
scribing
like
it.
pent as in
Pentagon.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, maybe it wasn't so implied. But anyways, like you can see like the character like scribing the letters on the page, and depending on who's talking, like the the way that they're writing is different. So like for example, like in very early on in the game, this is maybe a minor spoiler, but you're talking to like a servant, and this is set in like medieval times. So servants weren't well educated back then, right? So like there's a lot of misspellings. Like you can see like they're crossing out things and then spelling it correctly, and there's a lot of the story is told through the way that people are scribing the words on the page. So I don't really want
You
to.
play such weird games.
Right? Like, I try these games and usually enjoy them, but I can never commit to them fully. So
I've literally just started. I haven't played much on it. I don't even think I've unlocked a single achievement type of thing, but it's got me hooked. So I'm definitely going to be playing more. I like it a lot. It's a fun one. Pentiment. If you have Game Pass, it's a no-brainer. Go play it. I don't think it's on much else. I think it's on like maybe Steam or the Windows Store, but yeah. Pentiment. But yeah, that's it. That's kind of all I want to talk about, unless you guys want to talk about the last couple of Pokemon Go events that have been, may or may
I'm-
not have been good.
I missed the last one, so I can't talk about that. There is one coming up very shortly. Noibat, I think, comes
Yes,
up.
it
like, this
is. That's
week
the
or
one
something?
I want. I need that
Is it
pink
this
little
weekend?
boy.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I think it's this weekend. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, no, I haven't really been doing much Pokemon Go stuff. We did do the Greninja event in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So Greninja's in that game now. We caught ours. That was kind of a fun little diversion and stuff. So keep an eye out for those if you're playing Scarlet and Violet. Every couple of weeks they add a new Pokemon and they all seem to be like
I really need to
swimmers
get
and
back into
stuff,
that
so.
game.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. I've been enjoying it. It's it doesn't have quite as much end game content as some of the other ones, but it finds a way to pull me back in, mostly because Steve's still playing it. So,
Sure.
All right. Well, I guess with that, we will get out of here. Thank you all for listening. Hopefully you didn't completely drop off on us when we were gone, but we're
I
back
got some
now,
messages
so-
in Discord. Thank you for those of you that were concerned, and I hope that you are
did we
enjoying
ever
the
put
show
in
again.
Discord why we were off? Or
I
was
think
it only on
Lucas
Twitter?
might have posted
We
something to
Put
Twitter.
it on Twitter. Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't do
yeah.
anything on Discord, so
Oops.
we all have that power.
Adios.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We will be back again next week. Bye-bye.
Pokon, si tako to na po, tako na po, to kinsa do rapat krato.
Okay, I'm
This is the
leaving.
life we live now.